So in the last class, we learned about two theories created by Buddha, which was Pratitya Samutpadvad and Sangadvad. And in Pratitya Samutpadvad, we stated that it states that there is no causal material nor effect, but rather it's us who assume a relationship of causality between the object and the materials that create it. For instance, with clay in a pot, we say that the clay is the cause and the pot is the effect. However, this theory states that there is still a relation between the two. Similarly, if we look at the clouds and we see different shapes appearing, such as that of an elephant or a cow, we can't say that it was the clouds that created these shapes, but rather the clouds were just aligned in such a way that to us it appeared as if the cloud was in the shape of an elephant. So we just assumed ourselves that the clouds took this shape. So therefore, there is no Upadana Karan or Nimit Karan for an object. And Sangadvad also states that there is no cause or effect, but rather this time every object is just a group of materials coming together. For example, there is no such thing as a forest, but rather it's just a collection of several trees. So the forest isn't not an effect, and the tree isn't an efficient cause. Similarly, if we take a chariot and we remove the wheels, the flags, etc., there will be nothing left, and thus we can see that the chariot is nothing but just a collection or group of all these different materials. So if we dismerge everything that is in a group, Sangat, we will be left with Shunya, which is absolute emptiness. And Buddha states that there is no need for a relationship of cause and effect because both the cause and effect exist just in our assumptions. And we make these assumptions and create different identities for objects because our sensory organs want to relish these worldly materials. And the only way to stop making these assumptions and attain nirvana is to concentrate on shunya, which is absolute emptiness. And this is contradictory to our religion, which is where we're told instead we either focus on the infiniteness of Brahma or on the form of Sri Krishna.
So we try to understand all these theories in accordance of Brahmavad. It means, first of all, we understood that what is the philosophical stand of Ved, Gita, or which is accepted by Sri Mahaprabhuji, in which we understand and accept that Brahma is the and efficient cause for this universe, and as there is nothing else which exists other than Brahma, and Brahma is Ekameva Dvitiya, therefore nothing else than Brahma can be the cause of the world or any of the material in this universe. So this is what we accept in Brahmavad, that Brahma is the efficient and material cause, and Brahma creates the universe out of his own wish, and therefore he creates this universe out of his Sat and Chit attribute. It means Sat attribute will mean to exist, and the Chit attribute will mean consciousness. So all the living and non-living organisms are created out of Sat and Chit attribute of Brahma. And therefore this universe is constituted of the attributes of Brahma himself, and therefore only Brahma is the efficient and material cause for this universe. Now this is what we accept is, and this is what Mahaprabhuji is explaining to us is, and therefore we gave the title to our philosophical stand as Brahmavad. It means as Brahma himself is creating his own attributes in the form of universe, and therefore each and every single thing in this universe will be Brahmatmak, will be constituted of Brahma, and therefore this universe is Brahmatmak, constituted out of Brahma. And this theory is known as Brahmavad. So this is what we accept. Now we try to understand all the other theories in accordance of Brahmavad, so that we can compare that we are accepting Brahmavad, but what others are accepting. So this was the motive of trying to understand the other philosophical stands, in which we tried to understand Shankaracharya ji, and after that we learned the philosophical stand of Buddha. Anyone has any question regarding the topic we had studied in the last classes? Fine, you may continue.
Arambha. So when some causative materials are put together, it forms a new thing and it performs a new effect. For instance, a proportional mixture of milk, rice, sugar, etc. turns into a sweet dish called kheer. Hence, the existence of kheer was not possible until the proportionate mixture of rice, sugar, and milk. But when the causes are assorted, it causes a new effect. Every new thing gets a new start thus. Every function, therefore, is a new origin, a new beginning. From this point of view, the world is also a new beginning, a new effect that means a new truth. So we cannot think of any material or efficient cause for the universe, as every material changes its form, and after concluding into an effect, it has no as such touch to the cause in it, and results into a new beginning. Both Arambhavadis and Sangatavadis believe that parts and whole assorted put together product has a new function. However, they hold different views in the nature of the world. Arambhavadis believe that the causative world to be absolute material, and Sangatavadis consider the universe as vacuum or non-existent material, shunya. Should I summarize this paragraph?
Yes, explain this.
So the Arambavad philosophy explains that when certain causes or causative materials are put together, it results in an effect, and thus different causes will result in different effects. This means that every function is a new origin or a new beginning, and so is the universe. Therefore, we can't think that there is any material or efficient cause for the universe, as every material changes its form and results in an effect. Both Arambhavadis and Sangatavadis believe that when you put different materials or parts together, the product which is yielded will have a new function. The example we looked at earlier was if we take wheels, a flag, an umbrella, and some other materials and group these together, it will result in a chariot and thus a new function. So in the same way, if we take milk, sugar, and rice, these causative materials will result in kheer. The difference, however, between these two philosophies is that Arambhavadis believe the causative world to be absolute material, and Sangatavadis consider the universe to be non-existent material, shunya or vacuum.
Nice. So what is the mindset of Arambhavadis is that, for example, we are taking rice, milk, and sugar in a bowl. These are the constitutions out of which we create a kheer. It means these are the ingredients by which we will be preparing a kheer. Now, for example, I am titling these three materials as the cause and the kheer as the effect. But what Arambhavadis will explain is that does this rice, milk, and the sugar turn into the kheer in the same condition? They don't. Till the moment I don't go on boiling them continuously, it won't turn itself in the form of a kheer. So what Arambhavad explains is that a material changes its form each and every moment. It means when I will start boiling the rice in the milk, each and every moment the rice will change its form. it means it will not remain the same rice which was before a moment. Continuously, by boiling the rice will turn its form, and therefore it will not remain the same. It means when the kheer will be created, ultimately the same form of rice will not remain which we had before we had boiled them. So what Arambhavad explains is that each and everything is a new moment, and in each and every moment, each and every material changes its form. So we cannot find any sort of consistency between them, and therefore we are not supposed to title any such material as the material cause, because each and every material will continuously change its form. And therefore it is Arambha. It means a new beginning in each and every moment. For example, in our body, even we have crores of cells. And for example, if I tap on my skin, if I start if I'm having an itching sensation, and if I try to scratch my skin, then lots of cells will die, and at that very moment, lots of new cells will be created in our body. This is a continuous process which just goes on continuously without any end. So lakhs of cells will die, lakhs of new cells will be created, and like this, in each and every moment, something is destroyed in our body and something new is created in our body. So we don't find any such massive change in our body, and therefore we feel that we are the same person which we were before a moment and even now. But ultimately, many things are changing in our body. Lots of new cells are being destroyed and lots of new cells are being created. So technically, 100% we are not the same which we were before a moment. We don't find any such changes in our face and like that, and therefore we don't identify that change. We don't just concentrate upon that change, and that sort of cellular system is not even visible to us. But technically, such changes are going on in our body in each. So, if according to Arambhavad, if we try to understand this, we would say that our body and our body organs, even they are not remaining the same which they were before a moment. Even they are changing. So even me or my body is not the same which was before a moment, because the old cells have been destroyed and the new cells have been created. So I am not the same which I was before 1 hour. In my body there has been a lot of changes which we are not marking or which are not visible to us, but technically our body is changing its constitution and form continuously. So this is how Arambhavad explains, and therefore we are not supposed to title any such material as the cause, because our body is just going on changing its form. So for example, in the case of the kheer, we would be considering the raw material as the cause or the boiled form of those raw materials as the cause. So technically, the boiled rice are the cause of the kheer and not the raw one, because the raw rice have changed its form continuously while the boiling process. And same about the milk also, same about the sugar also. For example, if we keep all these three raw materials, then we won't title it as a kheer. Why not? If all these three ingredients merge together to be in the form of a kheer, then why don't we give them a title of the kheer when we are keeping these three things in the bowl? But we can't say so, because in that form we cannot accept it as a kheer, but only in the boiled form we accept them as the kheer. This is what Arambhavad means is. But the only difference between Sanghatvad and Arambhavad is that Arambhavad accepts that all these things are a new beginning, and therefore we are not supposed to accept any particular material in any particular form or stage as the cause. And what Sangatwar accepts is that as in each and every moment, the material and its form is going on changing, therefore we are supposed to not accept the world as an absolute reality, but just a momentum reality which will be ending ultimately.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I wanted to clarify that Arambavad is when a material is always changing, even if it means that certain things are getting destroyed and then being created again. But it shows that no stage or particular start or end of a material is a cause. Is that what Arambavad is?
So what Arambavad explains is that, for example, kheer is created out of rice, milk and sugar. Only these three materials are used, nothing else. No fourth material is used in the preparation of the kheer. But for example, if I just collect these three things in a bowl and say that this is kheer, we cannot eat it. It means in the raw form, the rice, sugar and milk are not kheer. We cannot eat them in its raw form. We have to boil it properly. And when it is completely boiled, even at the proper juncture, not even in the between. For example, if I boil it for 15 minutes, even if the rice remains raw, then we cannot eat it. If we won't title it as a kheer. At some particular stage, we have to just go on boiling it, and only then that material, that prepared material, will be known as the kheer. So what Arambavad explains is that a material will continuously change its form each and every moment, in each and every moment. And therefore, for example, when the kheer is prepared, it means the material is ready. At that time, we cannot title the same raw rice as the cause of that kheer, because the raw rice has to change its form continuously in each and every moment. And ultimately, finally, when the product, the kheer, is ready, at that moment, which will be the form of the rice, will be considered as the effect, not the one which was in its raw form. And therefore, Arambavad explains that we are not supposed to title any material as the cause, because that same material, that same rice, will not remain in the same form. It has to continuously change its form, and only when it gets in a particular condition, we can title it as the kheer or as an effect. So the former material which we had titled as the cause cannot be considered as a cause, because till the date it doesn't go on changing its form, we won't accept that particular rice as the cause and kheer as the effect.
Ji Raja.
Can you explain what you understood?
Yes. So Arambad is when a particular form is constantly changing to get a point to where it's considered as an effect. So as you said about the kheer, that the rice is raw at first, but you have to keep on boiling it with the other ingredients until it gets to a point where we can title it as kheer. So that explains that the change that the particular the material is going through has to go on until it can come to a point where it can be entitled as the effect.
Yeah.
Raja, then how they define Brahma or God in that context?
For them, Brahma is only the efficient cause, not the material cause. creator, like a potter. Like a potter collects all the materials and creates the pot. Same way, Bhagavan is only one time initiator, and after that the whole process will go on as per its nature and without interference from Brahma. So technically for them, Brahma is totally passive, and ultimately there is no as such use of Brahma in the whole creation or the sustaining and the destruction of the universe. And therefore this thought from Nayayik, from the Nyaya school of Vedanta, is titled as Ardha-Nastic, because they are not completely Nastic, but as such they are Nastic. Because for them, Brahma is not a compulsory element in the process of creation. Brahma is only the efficient cause, not the material cause. Material cause is an atom.
Ji Raja. And Mahaprabhuji did counter this theory with any example or anything like that?
Yes, in the Brahma Sutra Bhashya, but in Vidwan Mandan, Sri Gosaiji has negated this thought in much detail.
Ji Raja.
Raja, I want to clarify that
Yes.
does Adamvad only believe in the material cause and not in the efficient cause? Like, in every single material we see, they consider the material cause as the absolute reality, and they don't consider in the efficient cause.
No, it is not so. They accept efficient cause, but for them, each and every object will change its form as per the environment given. For example, when we are giving continuous heat to the rice, milk and sugar, they are converting their form continuously, and ultimately they result in the form of kheer. So because of a particular environment and a particular temperature, they are able to make changes in their form. But for example, if I don't provide that environment, or for example, there is much cold, then the process won't continue. So even material cause needs a lot of external factors to make changes in their form, but the importance or the compulsory existence will be required for the material cause, not the efficient cause. For them, Brahma, God, is the efficient cause, who will be creating, who will be just providing a initiative to the universe, and after that the whole process will go on as per its nature without any interference. For example, we just on the gas, we'll start boiling the kheer, and after that the whole process will go on in its flow. We don't need to interfere in between the same way. It means I cannot say that without me kheer cannot be prepared, like that. So your role is just in the initiative. For example, if I think to initiate but I don't have rice, milk or sugar, then what's the use? It will be useless, like that.
Ji Raja, so Adamvad does consider in the material cause and the efficient cause, but they think it changes every single moment to create the effect.
Yeah. So any material cannot be considered as the cause for a particular effect, because that material has to change its form in multiple varieties to create the effect. And when the effect will be created, we won't say that this is the same raw rice out of which the kheer is created, because the raw rice have changed their form for dozens of times in the boiling process, and after that we can give it the title of kheer.
Oh, okay, Raja. So the material cause and the efficient cause are constantly changing in an object, because everything always changes for the Adamvad. Okay.
Conclusion is that any material cannot be titled as the material cause for any particular effect, because all the conditions will be just go on changing. Nothing will remain in consistency.
Ji Raja.
Because the rice which we had taken in the bowl before have changed their form. So when we are eating those same rice in the kheer, they are not the same which we had taken in the bowl. They have changed their form.
I understood, Raja. Thank you.
Yeah. So in each and every moment, in each and every form, the rice are having a new beginning, a new arambha. Arambha term means beginning. Write this down. Arambha equals to beginning. So Arambhavad means that each and every object and the relation between cause and effect cannot be any particular relation, because cause and effect in each and every material, they just go on changing their form.
Okay, thank you, Raja. I understand.
Yeah. And we'll be continuing this up tomorrow. Uh,
Okay.